Hello, my name is Michaela Garcia. I am currently a student here at Lone Star College, and today I'm going to be going over the basics of ukuleles and what you should do as a beginner to play them. My main points are going to be tuning your ukulele, the proper way to hold a ukulele, and then the most basic chords that you can be using in a variety of different songs for when you're first learning how to play your ukulele. So getting into my first point, which is tuning our ukulele, according to an article in 2021 by Jeff Owens, which is a professional in the field of ukuleles who represents the Fender company, which if you're unfamiliar, Fender is the guitar and other musical instruments company. He says that the way you tune a ukulele is by going G, C, E, A. That's the sound that you want each of those strings to make. So on a ukulele, there's 4 strings, and each one has a different note that they're supposed to make. So when you go across from here to this side, it's going to be G, C, E, and A. And the way you're going to do that is by turning these knobs here. Personally, I like to start with this knob because this one controls this first string, and it makes it easier just to go across this way and then know if I've got it correct or not. So when you're tuning your ukulele, there's a bunch of different types of tuners you can use. I'm going to talk briefly about something that is less common, and this is when people have perfect pitch and they can tune by ear. It's very difficult to do this if you don't have perfect pitch, so I recommend using a tuner. With a tuner, they have all kinds of different guitar-specific tuners or ukulele-specific, and they even have apps on your phone that you can use which will tell you the note, and they work in a couple different ways also. Some tuners will light up green if you've got it in the right area, and some will beep at you and let you know that yes, that is a G or that is an E, etc., etc. So moving on to my next point, which is the proper way to hold your ukulele. This is a lot more common of a problem area for like people who are first learning their ukulele, just because it's so easy to mess up. So when you're holding your ukulele, you want to make sure that you have your arm, this arm here, is going straight. You don't want it curving like this to hold the strings. You want it to be like kind of straight and just controlling it like this. A lot of students will do this, trying to get their fingers straight up and down, which we'll talk about in a moment. But that's incorrect. You don't want to do that because it's going to hurt your wrist a lot, and over time it's just not going to be very good for you. Next, with this hand, you want it to kind of, this is called the sound hole. You want it to kind of sit around where your belly button is, and then this hand just kind of has your forearm resting on the ukulele so you can strum. And when you're strumming also, a lot of students, and I'm guilty of this as well, they'll just move their hand and they won't let their whole arm move with it. It's okay to let your arm move with it, and it honestly probably looks a little bit better. Next, when it comes to finger placement on your ukulele, you want to make sure that you have your fingers going straight up and down. You don't want them to lay flat like this, and you don't want them pulling on the strings or anything like that. You want your fingers going straight up and down, perpendicular to your ukulele board. That way it makes a nice pretty sound. This is a G that I just demonstrated with, but listen to that in comparison to if I had my fingers flat. It's a little different. You might not be able to notice it much on camera, but it doesn't sound as great in person. So the reason this is so important is because according to Alistair Wood in the year 2021, he is an author and a ukulele professional, but the way you hold your ukulele is a vitally important part of making it sound good, which is so true, because if you're not holding it properly, then you're not making it make the proper sounds, and then it just sounds kind of like a really hot mess. So going into my last point, which is going to be the basic chords, like the most generic ones that you could possibly learn for playing your ukulele that you'll be using in a bunch of different songs. The first one is a C chord. That's this one. So the way you play this one is you take your ring finger and you go down to the 3rd fret, 4th string, make sure it's straight up and down, and that's a C chord. The next most basic one is going to be an A minor chord, and this one also is only one string that you're pressing down, but unlike what most people feel like they should do, you're not using your index finger. You're going to use your ring finger, and you're going to go to the 2nd fret, 1st string, and then that's an A minor. And the reason you don't want to put just your index finger here is because you use your middle finger because the next most common one is an F chord, which all you do is then take your index finger, 1st fret, 3rd string, and that's an F. And if you have your index finger on that A minor chord, then it's gonna be really awkward to have to switch back and forth. So you don't want to do that. Just go ahead and use your middle finger so you can easily place down your index finger to make an A minor from an F. Now, this last one I'm going to show you is a little bit harder to hold with your fingers, but it is a really common one, so it's a really great idea to go ahead and try and learn it. So the way you do this is you take these 2 fingers, you're going to put your middle finger on the 2nd fret, 4th string, your index finger on the 2nd fret, 2nd string, and then your ring finger on the 3rd fret, 3rd string. And that's a G chord. So I actually got this source from a variety of different places, but every single website article that you look at, they'll pretty much tell you the same thing, that C, A minor, F, and G are the most common chords that you'll be using when you play your ukulele. So to round out my speech, I wanted to just go over my main points once again, and those are tuning your ukulele and the importance of that, how you should be holding your ukulele and why it actually affects your sound difference, or quality, and then the most basic chords that you'll be using when you play your ukulele. Thank you!